This is my fantasy image of Justin Trudeau and Barack Obama.
So come along with us to the Sunshine Coast. We took BC ferries to get there from West Vancouver, and we got this great sunset on the way. And then we stayed at the Airy at Point House Suites on Sargent Bay in this 1,220 square foot guest house that has some floor-to-ceiling windows, a full-on kitchen, a couple of bathrooms, because why not have two, an area to do some work in, and next to the master bedroom is this bathroom that has a floor-to-ceiling window in the shower. There's a hot tub out on the patio, there's a wraparound deck, and then you can head on down to the main house as well to check out the views from there, which includes this incredible scenery. Wow. Well, the view down here at the main house is pretty spectacular.
Absolutely amazing.
So we're in the regional district that is the Sunshine Coast, near the town of Sechelt.
And the greater area has about 50,000 people. It's north of Vancouver, but it's still considered the South Coast.
Mm-hmm. And originally, of course, there were the people that lived here were the First Nations peoples. They were part of the Coast Salish peoples, and primarily known for their hunting and fishing.
And world famous for their totem poles and canoes and smoked salmon.
And still a part of the community today, and we're grateful to be able to be here and enjoy this amazing area.
Absolutely.
And we're going to bring you along with us as we go explore it. Starting with the Sechelt Farmers and Artisans Market, because why not go to the largest outdoor market on the Sunshine Coast if it happens to be on right while you're there? So that's what we did. It's considered Sechelt's liveliest community hub, and they've got fresh local produce, some cool arts and crafts, food trucks and juice stands, and they operate rain or shine from March through to the end of September. But as you can see, when we were there was just lots of shine. It was just a great thing to check out with beautiful weather. Well, this is a cute little farmer's market. I'm glad we were here on a Saturday to check it out.
Yeah.
And you know, originally I had thought Sunshine Coast was an island because you have to take BC ferries to get here. And so I just assumed if we're going to go on a ferry, it's an island, but it's not.
No, just a little bit difficult to get to because it's surrounded by mountains.
Yeah, so there's no road.
BC Ferries goes there multiple times a day, so
yeah, so
pretty
that made
easy to
it
get
easy.
to, actually.
And it was like a 40-minute ride.
Yeah, so.
And then we had dinner on the boat, and there's some beautiful views, so that was good.
Yeah.
And here we are in the remoteness and the wild of the Sunshine Coast. It's very cute and quaint.
Yeah, beautiful.
And you can get stuff like this at the farmer's market. Chai-flavored nuts.
They're yummy.
That's what we picked up. But we're not going to eat too many of them because we're going for lunch. Which we did at the Basted Baker, which is an LGBTQ safe place, as it says right on the door. It's this casual cafe that serves homemade quality type food. They've got this front patio that we sat on, but apparently they also have one at the back. We didn't actually even see it. But this place is great for brunch and lunch. And then they've got like coffee and tea and breads and pastries that they bake every day. And they change their menu seasonally, so we got to enjoy their summer menu. Well, it was a good lunch at this cute little spot. And you know, the Sunshine Coast is pretty small, but they have a pride, and it actually lasts for a full month, all of June.
Yeah, the Sunshine Coast Gay and Lesbian Association has been around since 1992.
Which is crazy. In 1999, they switched from being a telephone tree and a snail mail thing to being on the internet, and now there's a volunteer committee that runs Pride, and there's all kinds of stuff that goes on. There's flag raising and golfing and a day at the park.
And movies, and they are actually hosting a queer exhibit at the local art galleries. So
Yeah.
go check that out.
Yeah. So at the Sunshine Coast Art Center is the Doris Crowston Gallery, and this exhibit was called This Is Who I Am, The Politics of the Queer Body. It features two local LGBTQ artists, Cheryl McDonald and Noel Silver, and they basically use the human body to explore themes of sexuality and identity in this public exhibition that really was quite risque, and I think really speaks to how open and accepting this community is. And now I actually get to chat with one of the artists of this exhibit. This is Noel Silver. And I wanted to ask you about this piece because I think I recognize those guys. Are they who I think they are?
I hope you recognize them. Yeah, this is my fantasy image of Justin Trudeau and Barack Obama. Every time I saw them in the newspapers, I couldn't help but notice how close they were. Like right in each other's faces, and with so much like tenderness and like charisma. This is my fantasy of how I would like to see these guys meeting, somewhere in a dark place where it's, you know, steamy and probably on leather night, it looks like. So,
and yet they're still shaking hands, so they're still very diplomatic.
You know, I didn't want to push the envelope too far.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, it's tempting to have them in a sexual embrace, but I decided to keep it light, so that it's more palatable to a wider audience.
Right. Yeah, I like it. I'll take 2.
All right. All right.
But now we have to go do something very important, which is have dinner.
Good on you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much. Pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure too. Oh, look, it's like we're them. With more clothes.
Oh yeah, only closer.
And after that close encounter, we went for dinner at Smittys Oyster House in Gibson's Landing, right in Smittys Marina. So their menu mainly features oysters and seafood, but they also have burgers and chicken wings and steak and that sort of thing. They're right on the shoreline of Gibson's Harbor, next to one of Canada's few remaining working wharves. So sitting out there was a pretty unique atmosphere right on the water, with food that mostly came from that water, but not the dessert. Well, that was a nice dinner to end off our day on the Sunshine Coast.
And this is Molly's Reach, where they film The Beachcombers.
Yeah, that's a very famous Canadian show. It's one of the longest running Canadian English series ever.
19 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. And I think it still airs in reruns in the States and Canada, but it was primarily on TV in the 80s here. So, you know, if you're over 40, you probably know of it.
Yeah.
Under 40, not so much, but it put the Sunshine Coast on the map.
Sure did.
But thanks a lot for coming along with us on our day here. And if you want to see some photos from our trip, just follow me on Instagram. I'm at Josh Reimer. And this is the famous boat from the show too.
Persephone.
So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon with another video from our travels. Bye.
Bye.